What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have myself, AlphaDog Bets, here with my guy, Jefe Picks. As you guys will see, we do not have JD today. I know he is throwing in a couple best bets for us later, but I do not believe we will see him today. So JD will be back tomorrow, but today you get a little two-man pick and roll with myself and Jefe Picks. It looks like, surprisingly, they're not here. All right, well, you still just get a little two-man pick and roll of myself and Jefe Picks. Jefe, how are you today, my friend? Today is a big day in this area. Are you ready for tonight? How are you today?
I am doing nice, man. Beautiful little Thursday in the neighborhood. Excited to talk some sports, talk about last night, and obviously talk about the big game tonight. Big games tonight.
There's a couple big games tonight, and there's also some big games during the day today, which we're very excited for. So, Jefe, we're going to have to do what we always do on this show, and we're going to have to recap how we did on yesterday. So we're going to do our Thursday recap. Well, it is Thursday today, but we're recapping the Wednesday slate. Jefe, how'd you do yesterday?
I want to say, though, I think, no, you're doing the right. I'll give you a weather report. I'll give you a fucking weather report, all right? Wait to hear my weather report from Little Caesars Arena later in the show. Just wait.
There we go.
No, I think the recap thing is right. Like, it's Thursday and we're doing the recap. I get what you're saying, that you would want to do that tomorrow. I get it. But I understand this way. Yesterday kind of sucked, not going to lie to you. Thought the Lakers were going to come out and, I don't know, think about winning, but that didn't happen. Rockets took care of business. Never was a game. I'm really interested in how that series is going to continue with it going back to Golden State. Hockey yesterday, we were pretty solid. My Panthers moved on. Hell of a series. I'm excited for that. Speaking about hockey, tonight it's cinematic in hockey tonight, the slate. In baseball, Yankees let us down. I think at this point, Carrasco is unstartable. But
yeah, you can't back the Yankees when Carrasco is on the mound right now. He's getting shelled in every start.
Yeah, and I honestly lost my other MLB play, so not a great day yesterday, but that just means we're due for a bounce back today.
I love that. The do factor is alive. You were going to have a big day today. I feel it from you. So for me, I split in the NBA. I did have the Lakers, unfortunately. I also had the Rockets. The Rockets had a nice win there, so that was a good one for us. So 1-1 there. MLB, we had the Mets, who really let us down. Outside of the Mets, we went around 500 for the day. So not terrible, not a great day, but today is going to be a big day, and I'm excited to dive into the slate. Jefe, a couple questions about yesterday. Lakers game. Lakers season's over. Losing in 5 to the T-Wolves as the higher seed. Do they need to make big changes? Any players you think they need to target? What do the Lakers need to do? Is the Luka going there a bad deal for them now? Because is Nico Harrison correct that he can't play defense? Thoughts about the Lakers series, thoughts about the Lakers future. What do they need to do?
They can't play defense because there's nobody behind them. I think the Lakers, I'll put it to you this. It is very rare for a star player to get traded and gain cohesiveness with new teammates in a few weeks, few months. It doesn't happen. It really doesn't. I think the best thing that the Lakers can do, and the Lakers will be ultimately better, is by having an offseason together. I don't buy into any noise about LeBron retiring. LeBron will be back. Luka will be back.
Which, by the way, I brought up on the show yesterday, is last night going to be LeBron's last game? And someone on the set told me I was an idiot. Who would ever say that? But we're now hearing rumors that it could have been. I don't think it was either, but you knew those conversations were going to come up if they lost this game. You knew those conversations.
They've been coming up for the last 5 years. It really doesn't bother them. The man just had a season where he averaged 24, 8, and 7 on 51% shooting. He's coming back 100%. Luka might sign an extension this offseason, but either way, he's coming back 100%. And then we get to the others. And I think the Lakers are going to be in the market for a big boy trade this offseason. And definitely some help in the 5 spot, in the center spot.
You know who they really could have used?
Mark Williams. Yeah.
I almost said Robert Williams. Thankfully, you said Mark Williams first because that would have been embarrassing. But yes, the guy who was tweeting all night and posting on Instagram how happy essentially he was that the Lakers were eliminated. was the guy they traded for, and the trade was vetoed, and it seems like he was a piece they really could have used.
I think you could see Austin Reeves on the move this
Really?
offseason. I'm sorry, because he's their most valuable asset that's tradable, in my opinion, and I think he could garner some good return. Um, I have a I have a name in mind, but if this happens, that means that this particular team would be absolutely blowing it up. And the team I'm talking about is the Memphis Grizzlies, and the player I'm thinking about is Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr.
That would be a good move for them.
The Grizzlies are in a, I don't even know. Something's not right. They have way too much talent, and they absolutely are not playing up to the standards.
Well, I think
John
there's a
Morant,
major issue on the team,
John
and you
Morant
just mentioned them.
is 1 point top 5 player in the league,
Absolutely.
possible face of the NBA. Then all the stuff with the off the court shit happens, and he kind of falls off the face of the earth. And I don't know if he's fully healthy, fully back. I don't know if he's ever going to be fully healthy and fully back. You got Jaren Jackson Jr., who I think nobody really realizes how good of a player he is. He's a defensive player of the year, and can shoot the ball great, can handle the ball great. And they have a great cast of characters, and I don't know what they're doing. Memphis is an interesting spot because I don't think they blow it up. I think they sell themselves in getting a better coach, getting better talent around those two guys, even though I think Desmond Bane is a pretty good third option. But if they do blow it up, man, that's a player that I would love to see in LA. I don't know what
So here's a question I have for you. If you're a fan of any team in the NBA, is John Morant a guy you'd want to bring in right now with everything that's happened, the amount of games he consistently misses, the amount of negative publicity around him all the time? Is he a guy, like, not saying for the Knicks, obviously, but let's say you're a team that's a French playoff team. I don't know, maybe the Miami Heat. Is that a guy that maybe they should target? Because if I'm a fan of any team, I don't want John Morant on that team right now. That's just point blank.
I want to say no, because I think like his value in a trade is probably like insane. You know what I mean? Like, he's still super young, and
you're gonna have to pay for him.
And in the right culture, I'll put it like this: you put him on the Heat, I don't think there's going to be any issues, because Pat Riley runs that team like a military unit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like Ja doesn't listen. He's given a warning one day, and the next day he does the same thing he was told not to do.
No,
so
I understand.
I don't know.
That's because there's no culture in Memphis, and there hasn't been since the days of Zach Randolph, Tony Allen, Rudy Gay, and Mike Conley, right? Grit and grind. They're just the culturalist team, and culture is huge in the NBA. It's you could have all the talent in the world, but if you're not playing as a team, it doesn't matter. But and look at what's happening in the playoffs right now.
Look at the Knicks.
The Lakers had no culture. The Knicks right now last year they had a culture. This year they don't have a culture.
I agree.
Culture's huge, and I don't see it panning out in Memphis right now. But we obviously know they're going to go for a big, humongous name and head coaching this offseason. I'm curious to see what they get, and maybe that'll change. But back to the Lakers. I think the Lakers are fine. I think LeBron comes back. I think Luke comes back. I think they build a better team around those two with a big man and a better cast of characters, and they run it back. I don't see an issue with the Lakers. I'm impressed with the Timberwolves. I am happy for Anthony Edwards, who is just blessed. I mean, continuing every year, this guy gets better and better and better. He's not SGA level yet. He's not. I'm not putting him in my top 3 yet.
No, but I think he's a clear top 7. I know that's a random number to throw out there, top 7, but I do think he's a clear top 7.
I'm willing to put him top 5 as the 5th player right now, with any which way you want to put it. Jokic, SGA, and Luka, and not talking about like, I'm talking about like the players themselves, like not their performances recently.
I understand.
Player in the NBA. I don't care what you say.
I agree.
And probably Wemby's just he's not.
Wemby's
there.
top 3. Who you want to build? I mean, but that's if you say who.
No. That's not
what we're saying. I know.
Wemby is if the hypothetical question is fantasy draft tomorrow, who's the number 1 pick for the next 10 years? Wemby's the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
That's without. That's not the conversation. The conversation is best players right now put on the team today. And like for one game. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I get what you mean. My one take on the Lakers right now, before we move on to baseball for the day, because we do have to get rolling into today's games. My one take on the Lakers, they over exceeded expectations, which gave them a false sense of how good this team was and how far this team could go. When they made this Luka Doncic trade, there was never a plan that this team was going to be a title contender this year. That was not what the goal of the trade was. They played fantastically, especially right when they got Luka. They were able to move up in the Western Conference rankings, and people thought they had a legitimate chance to make a run this year. That's not what this team expected. That's not what the management expected. They exceeded their expectations. So I do think they're going to add a big man. They're going to add some other pieces. And next year they should be significantly more well-rounded as a team. But I agree with you. I do not think the Lakers are in super trouble. I think they over-exceeded expectations. And yes, they disappointed in the playoffs, but they were not built to win this year. They had no big man. They just didn't. They didn't have a great bench. So I do anticipate they will get better. More to come on the Lakers, I'm sure. We will talk about all this when the season ends and go into what teams need to do going into free agency and the NBA draft. But
why am I again? Who did the Timberwolves play next? What seed are they?
The Timberwolves were the sixth seed, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see here.
They'll play does the NBA reseed?
I don't believe so.
So they would play the 2 seed?
I believe so.
And that'll be the winner of the Rockets Warriors.
Yeah, it doesn't reseed. No reseeding, so it'll be the winner of the Rockets Warriors, correct.
Wow. Either way that goes, that's a great matchup, damn.
Either way that goes, the T-Wolves are winning that.
Oof. That's a combo for another day.
We will get into it. We have to get into the daily baseball because the first game we're breaking down starts in just 20 minutes. So I do want to get this game in before the game does start. So let's dive in to a little MLB action. First game we're breaking down today. First pitch is at 12:35 Eastern, so just over 20 minutes. Pitching for the Chicago Cubbies is Colin Ray. Colin Ray is 1-0 on the year with a 0.96 ERA and a 1.07 whip. He's only pitched 18 innings, but in those 18 innings, he's allowed 17 hits and 3 walks, 0 homers, so he has kept the ball in the park. On the other side, Paulie Skeens. Not much needed to be said about this guy. He's 3-2 on the year with a 2.3 ERA. He's got a whip of a 0.8. Now, his ERA is a 2.39, which is fantastic. But you see that whip of a 0.8, that's even more fantastic. In 37 innings of work, he's allowed 26 hits, 4 walks, and only 1 homer. Jefe, kind of a low total here, sitting at 7.5. Game is in just over 20 minutes. What do you like?
How about that fan jumping over the rail?
I don't think jumping is the right term. I don't know if you've seen all the reports on him today, but supposedly he was making a bunch of scenes in the bleachers. He was kind of intoxicated, which I think everybody kind of figured. He was there with several people. Man, what a bad situation that was last night. And a very scary looking fall.
Frightening to say the least, man. That is insane.
I saw a bunch of people posting like how funny it was. I was like, I don't think that's funny, man. That's pretty freaking scary. That was serious.
It's funny if he got up and started, running around, but he fell and was lying there motionless. They had to get the card out, whatever. I've just never seen anything like that in my life.
Agreed.
Back to this game.
Never anything like that in my life. That's the best way to put it. I've never seen anything like that in any sport that I can remember.
Ever.
Nothing that I can remember.
Dude, it was the top. He's
looking at a 23-foot fall. As of now, he's still in the hospital. He fell directly on his neck from 23 feet. Pretty bad.
That's insane.
It's amazing he's even still fighting or whatever. To this game, Pirates Cubs, 20 minutes. What you got?
This is an interesting line, right? Because Pirates at home with Skeens, top of your head, you see the money line minus 130, and you're kind of like, thank you. Like, okay, yeah, we'll take it. And then you start delving into it a little bit deeper, and you see Rhea is just pitching fantastic. Only 1-0, but like you already mentioned, ERA incredible, whip great. Innings pitched 18, but the hits are high, almost a hit an inning. Yeah. But the Ks are more than 1K an inning, which it's throwing me in for a loop. And at the same time, is it crazy for me to say that I expect more to Skeens? Or am I overreacting?
Oh, you're overreacting. He has a 2.3 ERA and a 0.8 whip. He's on the worst offense in baseball. His team is terrible. There's no other way to put it. The Pirates have the worst offense in baseball. Period. End of story.
And yet I feel like I kind of have to back Skeens in the spot. I think when you look at it and look at the numbers, you can see you can get the Cubs with Ray on the mound, sub-1 ERA, high K count, low inning count, versus Skeens, who, like you just mentioned, is pitching behind one of the worst lineups in
Yep.
the major leagues. But what if I told you Brian Reynolds owns Rhea?
He does.
He is his father. 7 of 12, 583 average.
With a homer and 4 ribbies.
Yeah. So crushing him. Other than that, you really don't have much to go off of. You have two other players that are hitting above 300 but limited plate appearances. I'm rolling with Skeens here. At home. Big game. First game of the day. Day game in Pittsburgh. Show me what you got, buddy.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Similarly, I'm not on his side here. I'm on the total, and I'm on the under 7.5. You brought up perfectly that Brian Reynolds has absolutely owned Colin Ray in his career, but outside of him, nobody's really done anything. O'Neal Cruz is betting a 0. Andrew McCutcheon's 2 for 9. Ke'Bryan Hayes 1 for 3. I guess that's 333, but low sample size. Frazier's 0 for 3. Triolo's 2 for 11. So they haven't had a ton of success off Ray in his career. Then on the other side, nobody's really done well against Paul Skeens in their career. Ian Happ is 1 for 9. Seiya Suzuki's 2 for 9. Bush is 0 for 7. Pete Crow Armstrong's 2 for 6, which is like one of the better guys here in very small sample size. Miguel Amaya, 0 hits in his career off him. Nicky Lopez has yet to see him. So none of these guys outside of Reynolds has had success against the opposing team's pitcher, and I do think that's going to continue into this game. Give me the under 7.5. It's already been sent to VIP. It's an official play for me, so take that as you will. I'm all over the under 7.5 to start our day on the right foot. All right, Jefe, you ready to move to the second and final MLB game we're breaking down today before I give you 45 minutes to just talk about the Knicks?
Don't need 45, but hell yeah.
Let's keep it moving. Second game we're breaking down is going to be the Detroit Tigers, coming in 19-12, 6-9 on the road, taking on the LA Angels, who surprisingly are 5-4 at home. They are 12-17 in the year, but at home they have a winning record. They are 5-4. Pitching matchup is a good one. We have Casey Mize going for the Tigers. He's 4-1 with a 2.1 ERA. On the other side, but we have you say, he say, she say, Kikuchi. Kikuchi's coming in 0-4 in the year with a 4.3 ERA. He has pitched better than his overall numbers have suggested, though. Kikuchi is still a good pitcher. I don't think he is as bad as what the numbers are suggesting. Jefe, over to you. Big Kikuchi spot, or are you taking the Tigers here with Casey Mize? What do you got?
I don't know why this number is so low, man. That's what I'm looking at because I need to figure out how many games in a row. Okay. They lost 5 games in a row, the Angels have. 2-8. Back to where they belong, bottom of the AL West here. This number is throwing me in for a loop. This should be the Tigers minus 155. With the pitcher matchup being how it is, how bad the Angels have been both on hitting and pitching, and the fact that Mike Trout is not playing. At least that's what I'm seeing. Right? I mean,
They projected him to not play. He did get hurt yesterday. He left the game.
Yeah. It's really no other way for me to tell you this. I'm rolling with the Tigers here, and it says minus 120, but since we put that graphic up, it's already up to minus 130. I presume this is a late start, 9:30 Eastern.
It is a later game.
This could get up to minus 150 by first pitch.
So before we got on the air, this game was a minus 118 for the Tigers. We rounded up, made it a minus 120. Right now, it is at a minus 140 on FanDuel. I locked this in an hour ago at minus 120 when we sent it out to VIP. Very happy I did because this line looks like it's rising and rising quickly. And you can understand why. The Tigers have not been great on the road. They're 6-9 on the year, but they have been playing better on the road as of late. On the other side, the Angels started the year hot. They're one of the better teams in the first couple weeks of the season. They're cooling off. They're coming back to reality. Now Mike Trout's hurt. I just don't see this Angels team being able to sustain the success that they've had. I do think they're going to continuously fall back in the pack as, let's be honest, they always do. That's what the Angels do. At the end of the year, we know where we're going to expect to see them on the standings. Don't think that changes this year. The Tigers, they're a good team. They made a lot of good improvements on the year. Gleyber Torres has been fantastic for them. And how about the reemergence of Javi Baez, a guy who a lot of people have counted out, including myself, batting 300 on the year, 350 OBP, playing center field, a position he's never played before. They just stuck him out there, and he's done it very well. I have been surprised to see the success of Javi Baez, but I do like the complete team. A lot of their young guys have been getting better and better and are coming into their own this year. Spencer Torque Daddy has been unbelievable. Riley Green is turning into a player himself. So for me, the Tigers are by far the better team here and the better play in this spot with Casey Mize on the bump. Give me the Tigers all over them on the money line. All right, Jefe. Well, you know what time it is. You know what time it
Can I say
is.
something? Can
Sure.
we go over the other game? Can we leave this one for last?
If you stop tapping your foot, yes.
I wasn't down my foot.
Whatever the baseball,
worst thing that's ever happened.
Bouncing on
I had a rep come today and give me a baseball squeeze toy. That was a mistake.
Definitely. Don't give Jefe anything to doodle with in his hands, or he will be very, very busy for the day. All right. Per Jefe's request, he wants to start with the late game. The Denver Nuggets lead the Clippers 3-2 late game. Game series back to LA. Kind of just went over the intro a little in a different way than I normally do. But yet again, Denver's leading the series 3-2. We return to LA. Jefe, what you got?
This series, man. I like game 5 threw me in for such a loop. Jamal Murray going bonkers, 43 points, typical Jamal Murray game. He's always good for like one of those, a playoff, right? And then he just kind of disappears. I continuously look at the bench for the Clippers on the road, and man, do they fall off so hard. And Russell Westbrook plays so good at home. I mean, I know Jamal Murray's going to get all the love for game 5, 43, but Westbrook had a great game, 3 of 6 from three-point range, 21 points in 25 minutes off the bench. Just great playroom. I'm super impressed. I really have always said I think this is the series that's going 7. Yep. And I'm not going to take my foot off the gas in terms of my take on that. I think the Clippers win tonight. This number is high. I feel like this was kind of like a replay of last night where I thought the Lakers number was high, and I was like, oh, that means it's Lakers, and then they get ran out the building. But I don't think the Clippers are going to come out as flat as the Lakers did last night. And I don't know if I see the intensity. This is more important. The intensity out of the Nuggets that I saw out of the Timberwolves last night. That the Nuggets are perfectly content with losing this game and taking their asses back home for game 7, where, they've played way better. Other than the crazy-ass game where they came back from 20 points and Aaron Gordon still think didn't make it in by the buzzer, but made a buzzer beater. I'm going with Clippers here, -6.
Yeah, I see it the same way you do, but it's not my most confident play, I'll be honest, guys. This series has been very close and very unpredictable. These games have all been very close as well, until sometimes the very end of them. I mean, the Nuggets ran away with the last one, 131-115, but let's look at all the other games in the series. Outside of game 3, that was 117-83 Nuggets. We've had close games, all ending by one shot or less in 3 of the 5 games. Game 1, 112-110 Clippers. Game 2, 105-102. Or sorry, game 1 was Nuggets. Game 2 was 105-102 Clippers. Game 4 was 101-99 Nuggets. That was at LA. So this one's interesting to me, Jefe. It really is, because in the 2 games that we have seen being played in LA so far, the first game, the Clippers won by 1,000,000, 117-83. The second game, they lost by 2. So which version is going to show up at home? That's what we're trying to decipher here and figure out who we're going to take. For me, I still think it's the Clippers. Backs up against the wall. They have guys that have been in this situation and have come through it, like Kawhi Leonard. I believe in Kawhi. You guys know early in the series, I was all over the Nuggets. After a couple games, I started to switch a little bit. And I do think the Clippers will win this in 7. I know that's interesting to say when they are down facing elimination, but I do think the Clippers will come back. I think they're the much better team overall here from what I've seen, and they should be able to force a game 7 and steal game 7 when it goes back to Denver. Give me the Clippers -6. All right, Jefe. What's up, Joe? We appreciate you tuning in, brother. It's that time. I just tweeted it out. I said it's time to hear Jefe do what he does. Jefe, game 6, pivotal game 6, Knicks Pistons. What's going to happen?
I mean, I got to give it to the Pistons, man. They are a cocky bunch of players, especially freaking Malik Beasley. But I guess you're allowed to talk your shit if, you win games, and I can't be mad at it. I'm actually quite impressed at their
resilience,
bravado. They don't care win or lose. They're just going to talk their shit. That's fine. Yeah, Joe, exactly. They don't have shit to lose. I think it's really interesting that I think the Pistons are a little sorry.
Thought I heard a knock on the door.
Oh, no, it's me tapping my foot. I think the Pistons are in a weird
spot. I'm gonna kill you. Oh, JD! Ladies and gentlemen, late surprise arrival, which I did not expect. Welcome, JD. We're pumped to have you on. Jefe's currently breaking down the Knicks Pistons in our final review of the day. Just to fill you in, we did a little reverse NBA night. We did the Clippers game first, and now we're doing the Knicks game. Jefe wanted to save the best for last. So, Jefe, continue. I apologize. Got too excited seeing JD pop in.
No worries. I think the Pistons' mentality is in a weird place right now, right? You've won 2 games in the series, but both at the Garden, which is super impressive. But the place where you should be winning, where it should be way easier for you, you've lost 2 games in interesting ways, both games.
Yeah.
I, for some reason, think there is a lot of pressure on the Pistons. Obviously, they lose this game, the series is over, but way more pressure because, damn, can they win for their damn city, in their city for once since 2008? I mean, I think there's a weird, thing going on there. And they won the last game. I don't understand.
Do you mean that the refs called it more towards Detroit? Because I thought they did call it more towards Detroit, but still at the end of the day, the Knicks didn't lose because
I think he's trying to say that the refs were actually calling it fair and that the Pistons still. I would love. Please explain that comment. Thank you. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that I actually feel like there's a lot of unnecessary and way more pressure than the Pistons have ever had. Obviously, back against the wall, but they don't have shit to lose. They don't care if they lose. But
I think they do have pressure because they haven't won at home.
Exactly. That's my point. If this was 3-2 going back to Detroit, but they won either game 3 or 4, and the next one game 5, I'm trying to say, I would actually be like, damn, Detroit, nothing to lose. They can play loose. But I don't think they can play loose because I think no matter how this situation goes, they really feel a lot of pressure to get their fans a win at home. They haven't got that yet. I'm obviously rolling with the Knicks money line here tonight. I think that the Knicks walk in there just like they have in the last 2 times in Detroit and play way more physical. I actually think the Knicks played their worst game in Game 5. They thought that they were going to just walk all over Detroit. Detroit's given up 2 debilitating losses, both at home. And Detroit said, no, I don't give a shit about that. We played our asses off. They played harder. They would have to lose balls more. And when it came down to it in the last few minutes of the game, Detroit was in the right spots at the right time, getting big rebounds when they needed it. I give a lot of credit to Duren. But I think tonight, Jalen Brunson is not going to have 0 points in the first quarter and no field goals made pretty much all the way through the second quarter until the last few minutes. I think you get the version of Jalen Brunson you're supposed to get. I think that Mitch Robinson will be less involved in the offense, and that's a good thing. And I think you get a Knicks victory. I don't know if it's going to be ugly. I probably is going to be ugly based on the last 5 games, but I think the Knicks win, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think they do as well, but I'll put it out there for everyone. I'm not betting this game. I think it's sharp. I think this one really could go either way. Part of my Jay is asking us what's the series price right now. The Knicks are minus 520 to win the series, so the books and FanDuel do expect the Knicks to win one of the next 2 games. I do as well. It's very difficult to come back from 3-1, even though they won the first one. Even if they win tonight, it'll be very difficult going back to the Garden and playing a Game 7. But let me tell you, that would be some cinema. But as a Knicks fan, I don't want that to happen. And the fucking series tonight, and the bad boy Pistons, who everyone said was going to throw the Knicks off their game from their toughness, their physicality. That has not been the case. Everyone said they're going to go into Detroit. It's going to be hard to go into Detroit. That has not been the case. The Knicks need to get it done tonight and this series and absolutely win this one in 6. Part of my Jay is also asking, would we go if there was a Game 7? No.
Absolutely freaking not, man. I went to Game 5 and I was lucky. We got tickets, before the playoffs started. So, we didn't pay the crazy prices that they were reselling for $1,000 plus. I got great seats at a great price, but I would absolutely not go to Game 7 because they don't deserve my money at this point.
Yeah, we also might be out of the country, so just we got to check the dates on that. I mean, Jefe doing a trip coming up for our wedding
this Saturday.
True. No, yeah, a little bit before. Okay, so we'll still be here, but yeah, we're gonna be out of the country for a while. I'm not gonna be spending that kind of money.
I just rather not. Game 7 is different. Game 7 is absolute nail biting from the moment that ball goes up. No matter if you're up 20, I would not go. But obviously, I'm going to watch. Joe, I'll put it to you like this: if the Knicks lose tonight or in Game 7, Thibodeau's gone, and I think depending on how the next round, if they're lucky enough to get past the Pistons, goes against the Celtics, you could see him getting fired.
I think he's gone either way, unless they win
the only way
next round.
Thibodeau does not get fired is if the Knicks lose next round in 6, and 4 of those 6 games are games in the fourth quarter, if you know what I mean.
Well, we have to get there first. That means you have to believe that the Knicks will compete and win 2 games against the Celtics. And not sure I believe that'll happen. So my guess right now is Tibbs will be fired when the season is over. That is my prediction. But JD, welcome to the show, brother. You've been here for about 10 minutes and haven't gotten to say a word yet. So we're going to you. Knicks, Pistons, the unbiased opinion. What do you got?
Glad to be here. Yeah, we were talking about this actually series, and as far as last game, we actually thought is actually like as far as foul calls, that actually like there would be more foul calls, and there definitely were. And we also thought as far as the Pistons side that there would be more fouls, maybe called, more actually for them. And that's how it worked out. As far as free throws, the Pistons shot it 36 times compared to the Knicks. They had 27. The thing is, though, about that game, the Pistons had a 3-point win. But as far as free throws go, the Knicks were bad. Very bad. If actually they just would have hit their like average as far as like free throws,
I'm going to tell you right now,
I
almost threw something when Brunson missed. I think he started 1 of 4. It was the start of the second quarter, and I was already almost throwing things.
This is a series that I haven't really bet much. I just haven't really been able to get there on any games. I actually did bet over. I actually think 2 games. This is a game though where I am going to be on the Knicks.
Let's go.
Get the Knicks. You can actually get the money line currently at actually plus 105. And I just feel like that's actually priced wrong. I mean, I think that as far as the teams go, that actually the Knicks are the actually better actually team here. And tonight I think they get it done here. I actually think I really think they would rather just go ahead and get it done here. I actually really like that spot.
There we go. We'll have to see how this one plays out. I do think the Knicks are going to be able to get it done, so we will see. Joe's saying that the overs and the Pistons have done good to him. I believe the Knicks have covered more than the Pistons in the series, though. So I'm sure those games that you had the overs were games that Knicks did cover. So good for you. Keep playing the games right. Keep on cashing, Joe. All right, boys. Any props on this, JD? Any other games you want to talk about that you may have missed earlier before we get into best bets?
As far as the Clippers game, I do not have a play on that yet. As far as the Clippers, I actually wanted to play them, but that like number is pretty damn high. So I don't think I'm going to be able to actually get there with actually them. I actually definitely need to spend a little more time with that game. As far as baseball, as far as the Tigers go, man, that like price to me just makes no sense.
Well, have you seen the movement? It's had crazy line movement in the last 30 minutes. Tigers are minus 145 now. It's jumped like crazy.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I sent it out. When I sent out to clients, it was minus 120.
Me too. Exact same price I sent it out, but it jumped.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're starting to make more sense now.
Yep, that's what it should be. That's what we said into the game. It should be more of a minus 150 type of line.
Right. Because I was sitting there looking at it. I just kept looking. I was like, I just don't understand because they have the clear advantage literally everywhere.
Everywhere. That's what we're going to over. Every part of the game tonight, they are better at pitching, batting, whatever you want to go by. They're better in this spot.
To me, I'm on them. So.
There we go. All right. Well, you boys ready to dive into best bets? Give the people our top plays of the day.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, gentlemen. Jefe, we got to get you to start being excited when I said you guys ready to do best bets or something, because you just sit there. No, that's not exciting. Wake up. Best bets. I'm Thursday, May 1st. First May best bets of the year. You can't win best bets and sweet best bets in the month of May for every single day if you don't start on day 1. And that's what we're doing. Jefe, what you got?
I got one today, guys, and it's the obvious one. It's Knicks money line. I think it would actually be such a Detroit Pistons thing to do to lose tonight and get out of this series with still not winning a home game. I think that would just be like such a funny little tidbit that Yeah, they still haven't won a home game
Funny,
since
good
2008.
tidbit for you as a Knicks fan. I would agree that would be fun as Knicks fans, but I don't know
That
for
would be kind
everyone
of funny.
else.
I think Jake would find that funny too.
Uh,
I just want to say
first of all,
that,
look what you did, by the way, with yesterday. We haven't seen Jake once today.
Yeah.
hey man, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. I do want to say one thing though. If you are at all a novice or hockey fan, tonight is one of the great nights in hockey playoffs. 4 game sixes, 4 of them. That's incredible to me. Hockey playoffs are incredible. If you haven't been watching, watch. There are 2 games that I got my eyes on. Leafs at Senators. If the Maple Leafs do this again, where they blow another 3-1 lead, I think they have to move the team out of Canada. Something's not working. The Senators are not as good as the Leafs, and yet they absolutely whooped their ass in Toronto in Game 5. And tonight, the Senators are slight favorites at home as they should be. Man, oh man, if the Sens win tonight, Game 7 is going to be 30,000 people sitting in whatever the hell they call the belt, whatever the hell they call where the Maple Leafs play, Scotiabank Center, and not saying a word because they're going to be so nervous.
Yeah.
The next game is the Oilers-Kings. Kings took a 2-0 lead, and then the Oilers said, hold my beer, and have won 3 in a row, putting on offensive just shows every game. This one's back in Edmonton for a Game 6 that I think the Oilers take. Their money line is -175. That's high, but a 3-way money line is what I'm looking at in this game, and that means that the Oilers win in regulation, no overtime. Just want to put that out there because the hockey's too good tonight to not talk about.
Jefe said a lot, so I'm going to say a little. I have one best bet, and it's the Detroit Tigers on the money line. I locked it at -120. I still like it up to -140.
You just gave me a heart attack. You go, I got one best bet, and it's the Detroit. I'm like, what?
Don't worry. It's the Detroit Tigers, not the Pistons. JD, what he got? Close us out.
That actually Leafs series is actually nuts. I mean, they're leading 3-1. They lose Game 5, and Leafs fans are acting like they just lost Game 7. Like they're burning shit down, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, I mean, dude, because this is what I want you to think about. The Leafs are up 3-0. Game 4 is going into overtime. Okay, and Senators obviously win in overtime, so they win 4-3. Then Game 5, they win 4-0. It's like all of a sudden, all the Leafs, it's like a Space Jam, right? Where all the powers got taken out and given to the other team.
The Monstars, huh?
Yeah, the Monstars. The Senators are turning into the Monstars. Mm-hmm. If the Senators win tonight, JD, Game 7, which is going to be on Saturday, is going to be one of those things where I don't even know if you like hockey. You almost got to watch.
100%. 100%.
Definitely. Yeah, as far as best bets, Tigers is what I would have said, but that line I guess has moved up quite a bit. So I guess let's go. Actually, no, what? Here we go. Let's actually go with the play that's actually starting soon. Let's go with the Mets. Let's go with them on the first 5 run line.
All right.
I actually like that in at -105. I do like the Mets actually full game too, but is actually as far as the bullpen, I don't trust them actually a whole lot. But definitely see a clear edge in the first 5 here.
All right. Anything else for you boys before we get out of here today? Any additional plays? Anything else you guys want to say to the people? Jefe, one final word. Knicks Game 5. What you got?
I just want to see
Game 6, Jesus.
I just want to see Mikal Bridges be more involved from a offensive standpoint. I want to see Mitch Robinson be less involved from an offensive standpoint. OG Anunoby has been playing really good basketball, in my opinion, actually, on both sides, and I just need him to do his job. But this comes down to 2 people. This comes down to 4 players. Jalen Brunson, Cat, playing to the back of their baseball card. And on the opposite side, Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley. Those are the other 2. If Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley have crappy shooting games, it's going to be hard for the Pistons to stay in it. And I'm going to need Tobias Harris to just stop. Just everything. Just stop everything. Stop acting like you're a tough guy. Stop being just a goddamn just a pest. Just beat Tobias, the guy who scores 7 points a game and sits in the fucking corner. Okay,
I want that as well. Let's see a big win. JD, close us out. Get us the hell out of here today.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to do something, an actual offer here that I've never done. Never even close to doing this. Right after this show, I'm actually going to tweet out something, and it's going to be a half off link. Okay. And not only are you going to get half off, if I do not profit in the month of May, then I'm going to give you an actual whole nother month free.
Wow.
I've never done anything like that, but this month, for actually me, has just always been a good month. So yeah, I'm actually going to bank on actually that.
I love that.
But actually, with that half off, you get me, but you still get it. You actually still get all of the other plays too. You get soccer and the UFC and the golf and everything else too. So yeah, definitely take advantage of actually that. That will be today only. So make sure to hop on that, guys.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we will see y'all tomorrow. I will see some of y'all to actually like day at 5:00. And yeah, let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Let's fucking go, Knicks and Tigers. Peace.